everyone, it's Kim Porter, transformational life and business coach for women. I help women tap into their purpose so they can make a bigger impact and make more money doing what they love. So let's talk about hustle versus alignment. In the beginning of our business, we're striving, we've got goals, we're doing a lot of things that we've never maybe done before, and we are building websites, we've got all this stuff we want to do. So hustle is part of it. You're going to be hustling. But the difference between hustling and being in alignment and doing the work are two totally different things. So you're still going to have to do the work, but there's a different way of doing it. And so I had written down a couple of words that I think describe hustle and then alignment. And so with hustle, you're feeling anxious and stressed all the time. You might be feeling overwhelmed. You're very connected to your phone or computer. You feel like if you put it down, if you put your business down for like a second, everything's going to fall apart. It could be like a fast moving train. I know for me, I've been in the beauty industry I'm on my 18th year. And before that, I had built my business really big, was doing 50 weddings a year, done high profile celebrities. And I was just like hustle all the time. And I remember my sister being like, you probably need to like meditate and like slow down a little bit. I was like, nope, don't have time. My business is too busy. I'm just got too much going on. Well, that led to burnout. That leads to burnout, right? Because you can't keep going at that level. So it felt like to me, like I was on a fast moving train and I couldn't shut it off. I didn't know how to like hit the pause button for a minute and be like, I just need a break. And I didn't know how to get off of it. And so to me, it was just, the analogy that came to my mind was like, I'm on a fast moving train and I don't know how to get off of it. So you can feel like you have no boundaries. I was saying yes to things that didn't really align with me because I wanted validation or I wanted people to like me. You can compromise your values. I mean, isn't that part of like the hustle is like you're exhausted and you're sacrificing your values to make other people happy. So maybe you're saying yes to things that you really don't love doing, or you're taking jobs that really don't align with who you truly are and what your vision is for your business. So you could be like overeating. I gained like 30 pounds in the first year of like really building my business because I wasn't really motivated. I was just focused on my business, couldn't take my eyes off of it for like a second before I started to worry things were going to fall apart. And I just, took that the healthy me was replaced by the sacrifice, hustle, and then also the feeling of not being enough was a big one for me. I had to really work through that. So you can over caffeinate, you can overeat, you can lose sleep. That's just like hustle mentality can be very damaging to us. So alignment, on the flip side of that, being aligned and building your business from being in an aligned state, it feels centered. It feels purpose-driven. It feels like what you're doing feels good to you. You feel excited about your work, but you also know that you need to take a step back and you need to have self-care days and, you want to spend time with your family, and you don't really worry so much that the business is going to just fall apart because you know that the energy is coming from within you and not from other people outside of you. It feels like, to me, meditation. It feels like centering myself and having quiet time and listening to my intuition. It feels like having the power within me to build the business and keep going, but not on such a level where I'm just like full speed and then I hit a dip or I hit that place where I can't go on anymore. I feel like it's a creative energy that we can always tap into. And so it feels like community to me. It feels exciting. It feels like being present. So when I'm with my family, I'm with my family. And when I'm working on my business, I'm working on my business. It doesn't feel like being pulled so much. So there's definitely a difference in the hustle mentality versus aligned. But you still will be, even as an aligned, building a business. You're still going to have to work on a website. You're still going to have to make sales calls. You're still going to do the work, but it's from a totally different place. So that's where your power comes in, coming into an alignment. So if I were to tell myself back in 2013, 14, 15, when my business was really taking off, at the time I can't meditate. I don't know how to meditate. It doesn't make sense to me. I can't slow my brain down. But looking back now, it's what I needed the most, was to slow down, center myself, find out what it is that I really wanted to do, because what ended up happening is I started trying to please everyone and just felt lost and depressed and was not living in my purpose-driven life. And so we really need to center ourselves and find out what it is that really we want to be doing in this world. And so meditation doesn't have to be this, sit for hours and it can just be you sitting in quiet and having some time to yourself without your phone and your computer, without noise around you. A guided meditation is a great way to start. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them on Hay House Meditation Podcast has meditations that are guided. Find something that speaks to you. You might have to go through a couple before you find the one that works for you, but find one where you feel energized after, you feel centered, you feel creative, and that will really help you get more power in your business without hustling to get that. Journaling is another big one for me. I love to journal. I love to write down the things that I'm feeling. So if I am maybe in a day where I'm not feeling as confident as I want to, I'm having to do hard things that are maybe outside of my comfort zone, I can journal those feelings and find out where that's coming from. Like, is that something from my past? Have I felt not confident before and it's bringing up feelings for me? Am I triggered by something? So journaling is a powerful tool that we can use to kind of work through our feelings. And I shared, I think it was yesterday on my website, a blog post that said, not sharing your trauma and your drama with others. Like, you can carry this and you can heal yourself without projecting all of that energy onto other people. So it's a very powerful place to start when you're building your business from an aligned place, because what will happen, and I've seen it so many times with my coaching clients, is they build businesses and then they're feeling frazzled. They're completely out of alignment in their life. So their relationships, their family, their self-care, and then they burn out. And it's very hard to get back to a place that you were before when you've been through burnout. So a lot of times by then, you really don't love what you did anymore because you've just went too hard, too fast, and you burnt yourself out. I thought about this yesterday. How many musicians do we see that, have a great start and have an amazing song and, they're everywhere, and all of a sudden you don't hear from them anymore? And it's like different. Like what's the difference between a Jennifer Lopez or a Madonna versus someone who's like a one-hit wonder? And it's because they've centered themselves. They found their power. They've learned to say no. They've learned to stand up for themselves and believe in the things that are important to them and to find their values and work from that place instead of trying to please everyone and trying to just go 100 miles an hour and doing things that are no longer aligned with who you are and what you stand for and where your purpose is. So totally different way of looking at it. And I think it's so important that we build businesses like this. And especially as women, like, this is kind of new for us to have the work life and the career and the family life and, all of these pieces. Like, we have so many options that we, sometimes are trying to do way too much. We're trying to do all the things. All our plates are just spinning in the air. And, we're just terrified one plate's going to drop and it's all going to, fall apart. So get into alignment, find that place. If you guys have any questions, you can comment below. You